Heads up on this one. I'm still having audio problems. Enjoy. Last time I had a little bit of trouble with some audio, and I was pretty close to getting everything back in, but I was done for the day. It had taken too long. So I got frustrated, kind of left it alone for a couple days, then fiddled with it just a little bit. So we're back. I'll show you what I've done and what's left to do. Carburetor went back on. It's 4 bolts. It wasn't worth showing on anything on video. All these lines of spaghetti that either carry little electrons or carry little air molecules, they're all either blocked off or hooked up. EGR is not hooked up because the cylinder head, both passages are completely blocked with carbon. So there's no reason to have this hooked up. It's not going to do anything. I blocked off that vacuum line to it. I also blocked off the vacuum that goes to here. We'll see where that goes. Radiator's back in, which really is a drop-in with 2 bolts, one on each side, one here, one on the other side. Then this one has the thermostat on the bottom. The thermostat is right there. So it's kind of funky to try to get the air bubbles out, and I might not be able to do it right, but we'll try. I've already topped off the radiator, which should get coolant all the way to the front side of that thermostat. To get it to the back side, I'm gonna need to fill it up through here, but that may still leave an air bubble in this heater hose. So I may end up going to the parts store, cutting this hose and buying the little air bleed out tie-in. We'll find out. So right now what I need to do is top this off. Then we've got to throw some belts on, and I've got a fan to put on still. So that's what's left, and then we'll fire it up, and we already know oil's going to the right place. We just want to see if I've got the timing close, and really just kind of want to hear it run again. Right in the top of this coolant housing, we've got our small funnel. I've already done mostly antifreeze, so I'm just going to add water, mainly because it's easier for me to clean up. Oh, actually that appears to be full there, so maybe we didn't drain it all out. That'd be nice, huh? Let's see if it was just an air bubble. No, that appears to be full. All right, well, we'll take it, you know. So that only took, I don't know, 3/4 of a gallon, so maybe it wasn't empty as I thought. Put this hose back on, and we'll tighten this clamp up, and then we're gonna move on. All right, next. And just like that, belts are back on. So that was pretty simple. All it was is bracket, bolt, and bolt. And on the power steering side, this pulls the power steering pump out, and this bolt and 2 on the other side actually snug the pump up to this bracket. And that's pretty easy. I'm not gonna put the fan and the shroud on yet because that's kind of a pain in the butt. It's the last thing I wanna do right now. I really wanna hear this thing run, so we're gonna skip that step and come back to it. Really, just remember, left-hand thread. So right hand to get the fan on, and the shroud's gotta go on with it. Or you could be like me and have a broken shroud, so you can put the shroud on whenever you want. But you do need the shroud. It protects these air conditioner hoses, keeps them out of the way. Those belts are on. I'm not worried about a seat belt. It's cold out. I can put that on later. The last thing we're gonna do before we fire this up, we're just gonna make this air system return to itself, just to block that off so I don't have an exhaust leak, at least not that exhaust leak. Now, let's cross our fingers and hope this thing starts. So that's really what I want to hear right now. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, the battery's hooked back up. We'll pump the accelerator pedal here a couple times and use whatever gas is left in this float bowl. And everybody cross your fingers. There's probably gonna be some extra noises and things because there hasn't been oil in it for a while, but let's wait. That's not bad at all. It's running! Yay! All right, let's get this thing backed out, let it warm up, and then we'll set the timing on it. So awesome. It worked. There we go. Put that thing to idle. Nice and low. And then we'll let it warm up just a couple more minutes, and then we'll check the timing on it. But raise your hand if you're super happy about this running. Okay, good. I cobbled together this transmission cooler line fitting because the solid line broke, and I just need more hose so I can run it all the way to the cooler. That's gonna drip for now. It's okay. It'll be fine. Everything else sounds pretty good, especially for me ballparking the timing. Let's shut this down. I'll show you what you have to do to check the timing on this. Pretty easy. Okay, the only thing you can set timing wise on this truck is the base timing. And that means that all we need to do is get it warm, idle it, unplug one thing, and then check it with a timing light. But I'm going to need to mark 0 on the balancer, which is this big slot right here. And I want to mark it with something white so it's a little bit easier to see for the strobe light. Actually, wait a minute. This just in, it's actually this one. Here's your 0 or top dead center timing that we check with the strobe light. We want to highlight that somehow. I'm just using a tire marker or tire grease pen, whatever. That way, when I use this strobe light, it'll show up better. And strobe light just goes to positive, negative the battery to power it up, and then this lead goes and gets triggered by the number 1 spark plug wire. The only thing left now to check base timing on this engine is backed by the distributor. There is a 1-wire connector that has a yellow wire in and a yellow wire out. You have to disconnect that so the computer cannot control the timing. I'm going to unplug that, start it up, and then we'll check with the strobe light. Okay, started it up, disconnected this, started the engine. It's idling fairly decently. Maybe a little rough, but that can be carb adjustment. Keep your eye focused right about here. There's the timing markers on the engine. When my finger gets out of the way, you'll be able to see much better. So you'll focus down there. But there's the timing mark. It's for the engine. And my highlighted mark should show up somewhere close to there. Comes the strobe. As you can see, we're not quite to it. That is with this timing light at 0. This engine is supposed to be at 8, so we will dial this to 8 and see now where our marker is. It's still a little bit before. Alright, so let's try to bracket this. Instead of chasing it, let's go to 12 or 13, somewhere around there, and see how that lines up. Because that looked like that was probably 4 or 5 degrees. Yeah, this is at about 14 or 15 degrees right now. We need to back that off a hair. So let's move our distributor again away from rotation clockwise with it. And you can hear the engine go down. Now, let's check it. Should be closer to 8 now. That's just about dead on 8, maybe 9. So we're going to leave that as is and tighten the distributor down. See, it wasn't that simple. Temperature's coming up. Oil pressure's still good, so I haven't killed that. Let's see how it does on the restart. There's no good way to do this. Sorry for the buzzing. We're just checking restart. Immediately. So we've got everything dialed pretty close the way that started back up. Now we'll let it heat soak and then start again later, but I am pretty happy so far. This truck is sat and heat soaked for, I don't know, half hour or so. Let's see how it starts now, just to make sure that we fix that whole missing and kicking problem and everything else. Again, sorry for the buzzing. We'll put you outside, hold on. Here, stare at the hood. That started immediately, and it's running pretty smooth. I would say that that's the final test of that one. Our oiling problem is fixed. We're good for the day. I think it is fixed, at least the oiling problem. If you stuck with me through this entire project, tear down and rebuild, I thank you very much. And I'd like you to continue watching for, I'm sure, more adventures and pitfalls with this truck. But for today, it's a win, and no matter how small, take every win you can get. See you next time.